It's that time of year again where millions of people kick alcohol to the curb for Dry January. Now, this is a campaign that started in the UK about 10 years ago, but it's really caught on worldwide. Is it something you may like to try? Well, I've got some tips for you. We're going to hop on a Zoom with Courtney Friel. She is 13 years sober, also an anchor and reporter at KTLA in Los Angeles. Courtney is the author of Tonight at 10, Kicking Booze and Breaking News, and joins us now on Zoom. Courtney, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me. Congrats on the show. And yes, I am very popular in January.
Well, after 13
all
years
of my friends
sober,
who drink who are doing Dry January want to hang out with the sober person and do healthy activities.
Well, I have to say, you and I have known each other for a long time, about 12 years. And I've always known you as Put Together Courtney. We worked together at Fox News Channel in New York. But when you look at this video that you shared with me, I'm going to let our viewers see it as well. What goes through your mind when you were there at rock bottom and you see yourself?
Well, Anna, first of all, you met me when I was a few years sober. I have 13 years, but that video was taken in 2009. And I didn't even know that it was taken. I was in a blackout. And then my friend took that link and sent it to me at my work. And I watched it and I was appalled, and I saw everyone else's faces around me looking on me in disgust and just my behavior. And I kind of knew that something was going to have to change. And then 2 weeks later, I ended up in intervention with 7 people surrounding my bed. And I went to rehab. And since 09, I haven't had any drugs, alcohol, or mind-altering substances.
Oh, congratulations. Can we talk a little bit more about that moment when you were at rock bottom, basically, and you have 7 people, your loved ones are around you. And let's not forget, this is when you're also a successful television host and you're, sort of living a double life in some ways. You have your loved ones around you. What did they say to you?
Well, it was already kind of coming to a head because DJ and Heath Ledger had just died of having lots of substances in them. And I was really afraid that I was going to get caught buying coke from some shady dealer in New York City and then lose my job. So I was thinking it's probably time to wrap it up. And then my friends just said, you should take some time for yourself. And thankfully, in that crazy hangover, I knew that I deserved more for my life, had more to offer this world, and that it would be the best decision that I would make. And gosh, I was feeling that way. And it's true. It's the best thing I ever did for myself. I have an amazing life. I love being sober. I don't try to I don't judge. I don't preach to anyone else. I don't try to convert anyone, but I'm happy to share my experience. And that's why when Dry January comes around, I can give lots of tips on how to be sober. And that's why I wrote my book too.
Right. So your book is Tonight at 10, Kicking Booze and Breaking News, which is kind of a play on kicking grass and taking names. And so, thank you for coming on to talk about some tips for people who want to do Dry January. A lot of people even just decide to do it because they want to kick off the new year in a healthy fashion, get their fitness routine and healthy eating routine on a nice foot. What are some of your tips, and who is this for? Who should do Dry January?
Well, first of all, I want to say that it's no one else's business what you're doing. So if you want to tell your friends and family that you're doing Dry January, great. And the only people who are going to judge you not drinking or have a problem with it are the people who have problems with alcohol themselves. So just know that going into it. But you want to remove all the alcohol from your house so it's not a temptation. You want to try to schedule a lot of healthier activities. If you need to de-stress with alcohol usually, then try journaling or meditation or exercising. It's interesting because I used to do everything drunk and now I do everything without alcohol, and it is possible to have a good time still and to have fun. It might take a little bit in the beginning, but I am now the person that I am, the way I explain it is I am the person that alcohol made me be without the alcohol, because I used to be shy, and then alcohol made me fun and funny and brought me out of my shell. And then now I don't need that anymore. I can be crazy without alcohol.
Yes, and I can attest to that. I always have fun when I'm around you. And so you have really found a way in sobriety to actually unzip your soul without the alcohol, which is it's so beautiful. And you've gotten into meditation and yoga. And let's not forget, you're a mom of 2 kids who are so beautiful and
Who have
successful and
never
thriving.
seen me under the influence ever, which
Never.
is great. They're 10 and 11.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible. A pretty incredible gift that you're giving them. So for people who are trying dry January and they're finding it hard, how do they know if maybe they actually do have a problem with alcohol and it's not just something that helps them unwind at night and with a glass of wine that they enjoy? Maybe it's actually something that is a bit of a problem. How do they know?
In the recovery world, we say that you should be able to go 1 month, even a year without drinking. And a normal person, they look at alcohol like people look at broccoli. They're not counting days as to how long it's been since they ate broccoli. It's take it or leave it. So there are people that probably shouldn't just go cold turkey if they really have withdrawal. That should be done with a detox or doctor. But everyone else who's going to try it, you're going to notice all these amazing things like sleeping better, less anxiety, you're going to have more energy. And it really brings you to a new level of consciousness. The reason that rehab is 28 days is because, and dry January is 31, is because that's how long it takes your body to form a habit. So you'll be in the habit of not drinking and you'll feel great. And I know people that have lasted like 1.5 years with not drinking, because you're going to realize how great you feel without all those poisonous chemicals in your body.
Yeah. So how often do you think people end up doing dry January and they're like, oh, this is going to be so hard. And then by the end of the month, they're going, I feel so good. Maybe I'll do this even longer.
I think it goes both ways. I think that I know that I have some friends that have issues with alcohol, and I see their post of trying to do it and then how they failed at it. And we just say that we're saving them a seat. Maybe one day it'll click. You can't look. Someone is only going to get sober if they want to for themselves. You can't make someone go. They're not going to do it if they're forced to go. And for me, like I told you before, that it was just that moment. I was like, okay, I'm going to try it. Like what is not working, like if things aren't working for you, if your life is a mess, then why not just try it? Just give it a try and see how it goes.
Absolutely. And then finally, as we go, let's talk about what you should do if you're somebody who has a loved one that you think might have a problem with alcohol. How do you talk to them about it? If you say they're not going to change their mind, they're not going to do, what you tell them to do unless they want to do it. So what do we do if we have a loved one who we think has a problem?
I think a lot of people tiptoe around the issue of alcoholism and drug addiction, but in my own personal experience, I think it is wise to tell the person your feelings on it and why that you believe that they have a problem, because that's still imprinting in their mind. But if it's something that you're so obsessed with and stressed about, you're powerless over someone else's situation. So there's actually 12-step programs out there. It's called Al-Anon. I don't feel like enough people talk about that, but it's a program that helps you kind of remove the obsession over someone else's drinking and drug addiction.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's great to know as well. Well, happy dry January to you.
Yes.
And happy dry January. It's great to see you.
Cheers with the mocktail.
Exactly. Thanks for coming on Your Day with Anna Kooiman, Courtney. See you soon.